Hello and welcome back to another episode of Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. Last time, we unwittingly became part of Soga's master plan because I'm dying of a terminal disease because I have too much weird blood inside my body. So, to celebrate the fact that I got a nice bracelet to make me a little healthier, we went to eat curry. So, that's great. So we've learned that Kati did get indeed released from Soga's grasp with a bit of amnesia. Though her email from last time made that evident. And right as we just got done eating, this asshole shows up. So, of course, Sakaguchi, this sniveling little piece of shit here, is going to confront us with his goons. And this is when I realized that this route was going to be really fun. Because I'm going to talk a little bit here about the differences in the routes. All the other routes that you play follow... I mean, after the divide where you're really in them, like, they follow pretty much the same main mission structure. So you do the same kind of story events in the same order, but, like, there's, like, a slightly different, like, way it gets done. Where Shion's route seems to be a complete overhaul, a just completely different situation altogether. In every other route, you fight Sakaguchi in Electrotown Plaza with his goons, and that's just because, well, he sucks and you need to beat him up. But in this one, now that we're working for Soga, which is already a pretty weird surprise, now Sakaguchi's gonna fight us on Main Street, right outside the Go-Go Curry shop. So of course, naturally we just have to beat him up. Now, of course, this is an interesting fight because I think this is almost a joke in the game's favor, but, and there I did Unison Strip on Sakaguchi, but of course his durability is pretty high. Like I was saying, it's kind of a joke. Even if you beat Sakaguchi, the fight does not stop. You have to beat all of his cronies as well. This is something that I think it doesn't happen very often in this game, but I almost think it's because Sakaguchi's such a wimp that the game's like, yeah, he's not even, he's a wimp with a stupid golf club, and he's not even important enough that when you beat him, his minions are just gonna keep fighting you anyways. But we've already basically got him down. We just have to get his pants off, which are already, as you can see, in pull mode. And of course, he tried to do a little golf move on me there, but luckily I was able to just pull in and take care of that. So now Sakaguchi's out of the picture, but his minions are not. And of course I am about to lose my shirt, as you can imagine. Luckily I was able to get out of that crowd without losing my vest, which made it a lot easier on me, because that would have sucked, it being my main clothing. Now, of course, his cronies are no different than the goons we've been fighting almost the entire game. Just a variety of people that mostly have just business suits with sometimes toupees. And luckily, it's not going to take much for us to really take care of it. As you can see, the reason I keep going to the menu there is I'm spamming start now on Unison Strip to skip the cutscenes, because I think you just have to do it right when you start it. That seems to be working for me, but I'm just going overboard, just making sure it's working, because I don't want to have to force you to go through the cutscenes anymore, because you've seen like every cutscene, every Unison cutscene game, or Unison cutscene in the game already, so I'm pretty sure there's no need for me to show you it any more than you've already seen it. So naturally, I'm just going to go ahead and skip them. Now, with that, the fight's done. A pretty short fight. It's not hard at all. Sakaguchi's kind of a pushover, and that's kind of, well, in the game's favor, I think. But with that done, of course, him stripped down, he's begging for mercy because we just, just destroyed him. And he says he's opposed to violence, but naturally, I don't know what you would call that other than violence. So, I don't really believe him. Sakaguchi's just kind of a spineless, worthless corporate employee who wants to get somewhere without even trying. So naturally, we're gonna make him look like an idiot more than he's already looking. And yes, underling might be the word for it. So of course, Sakaguchi's gonna kind of play up the I'm a martyr. I'm gonna create great medical advancements with this Synthester stuff. It's for the greater good, etc. But of course, that's not really it. He just wants to be cool, I guess. And naturally, because we beat him up and beat his goons up, he's gonna become useless. Because it's very similar to what happened to Xenia, as you can remember. them making not so good choices along the way, trying to stop us. Now, of course, Shion is talking about her motives here, and interestingly enough, Sakaguchi is catching on that we're part of it, of course, and then suddenly with this CG change, she's gonna drop that bomb right there. Yes, it's true. Shion is in love with us, and that's great because it's exactly the point of this entire playthrough. And of course, we're very surprised. We didn't know, wink wink, that we were gonna be able to accomplish such a great feat. But yes, her entire involvement in my organization with my friend group, it was to get to us, which is very romantic. It's very powerful stuff. So powerful, but her resolve to save us comes from love and science, two great marvels of the world. And of course, Sakaguchi feels kind of left out now. But he says he's got the organization behind him, but we're about to see that that's not quite true, because Soga's here. And Soga doesn't really like people who fail him, as we saw with Zenya after finally beating him at the battle arena. He just kind of did away with him like a limp piece of cloth. And of course, Soga's gonna pretty much also do the same thing with Sakaguchi here, because he failed. He tried to attack us for no reason other than that he felt bad. He was like, man, I hate those guys joining my super friend group that's gonna take over Akihabara. Better go beat them up. And of course failed miserably. And yes, Shion is probably worth more than him just based on a organizational advantage. Although, to us that's not a good thing because we really don't want to be involved with this guy. But that's okay, because we really don't have any choice right now. So, of course, Sakaguchi's going to kind of beg his way back in, but it's not going to work, because, I mean, first off, he's not wearing clothes, so that doesn't make him look very good. And second off, well, no, he hasn't really done anything good, other than, like, try to accomplish things that didn't really benefit him in any way, shape, or form, so it's not really going to work out for him. Soga's got kind of a pure blood ideal going here, where he's like, he doesn't want to have any drugs involved, pure life energy only. So he's got a philosophy about this whole deal, and Sakaguchi is not gonna fare well in this situation. So he's gonna run away. He's gonna kind of do a Team Rocket and just get the hell out of here, and then we're gonna be faced with Soga, which I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. It probably isn't. Now, of course, Soga's gonna give us some condolences that we probably don't really want. And I guess this was kind of set up for him because he wanted to get rid of this guy but didn't have the leverage for it. So I guess Soga knew that he was gonna attack us and let it happen. So I guess, you know, we were set up, basically. We were set up to knock that guy out of his organization, which I think is weird and pointless. But, you know, whatever. I don't care. It was cool. It was fun. But yes, now he wants us to be the main purveyors of his science experiment here, which is probably not a good thing, because we're on the wrong side right now. Which is probably the most interesting thing about this route, is that we're on the wrong side. We're working for the enemy, which is a particularly weird situation to be in, though unwittingly and definitely not consenting to this whole dark utopia ideal that he's dropping right now. He wants to basically gather life energy from all over the world to power the Night Eater race once again. So he's gonna keep them alive forever, apparently. And he's gonna start some great hierarchy with his race and like take over everywhere and suck people dry and, you know, whatever. It's bad. It's a bad idea. We don't want it to happen, and it's probably something we should stop sooner or later. But it's gonna be, I mean, later, because we're kind of stuck here because I'm still dying technically. And Shion's, of course, got a really good brain, which is her main draw here. Being a genius and a CEO of a pharmaceutical company and all, Soga's probably going to use her talents to his own personal gain to create a dark utopia, which is unfortunate, but that's the interesting part here. So of course Soga's going to put us on call again and kind of teleport away. Shion doesn't seem very happy with this idea, nor are we, really. I mean, working with the big bad and all. So we're gonna just put the resolve in, because we don't want innocent people to get hurt for no reason, just to fund this guy's, you know, thing. He wants to keep his dying race alive, him alive forever. I mean, you know, man, gotta go the way of all flesh, but it's okay. So now we're gonna go back to Radio Kaikon now that we've had that weird altercation and had some food ingested. We're gonna go ahead and just get on back to Radio Kaikon so we can discuss what we're gonna do next. Which, as it turns out, is going to be something very, very strange. Now, of course, there's not going to be a lot of maneuvering around the map much anymore other than to the main mission, because I don't have any side missions left. So naturally, we're just going to go where the cursor wants us to go. So we're going to go back to the Radio Kaikon building, and we're going to look into my problem a little bit more, considering I'm still at the risk of death at any, you know, junction. Though I do have that nice, you know, beaded wristband on, so I won't be in any danger, I guess, until that's taken off or something like that. But I'm probably still in danger. So of course, yes, I want to tell my friends who have abandoned and betrayed, accidentally, I guess, about our situation. We can't, because keeping them in the dark is the only way for us to accomplish anything, which of course is going to make us look really bad in the long run. So we're just going to have to deal with that. And yes, Shizuku's Night Eater blood has kind of caused a lot of complications for us, and until we deal with it, Shion doesn't want to drop that, like, bomb on Shion, or Shion doesn't want to drop that bomb on Shizuku. You know, probably make her feel awful, and then who knows what she would do. And of course, we're just talking conjecture here, but naturally, we gotta solve this problem, and solving this problem without telling them kind of causes more problems, so the whole situation is kind of a mess. And of course, we gotta hurry up, because we're running into a bad area in which the master plan of this guy is getting a little closer and closer to fruition. You know, Dark Utopia, etc., whatever. So Soga's gonna drop this major thing on us. Another thing that we don't see until the very end of the game in all the other routes too, which is the life-sucking machine, which looks wild. That thing is going to suck all the life energy from the world, and well, starting with Akiba, really. He gives it a really fancy name, Operation Arc. Yes, it's the core of his plan. He's gonna suck dark energy through it, or life energy through it, or what have you. And of course, it's fueled by the life energy that synthesizers are already taking. So when the synthesizers take energy from the living people, this is where it's going, into this big metal thing. Yes, and at first they're gonna start by sucking all the life energy out of Akihabara, so that they can suck all the energy from other parts of the world, which would suck, and we don't want that to happen, because that involves people dying because their energy gets sucked out and all sorts of other fun things. So that would probably be good to stop. But of course we can't do that right now, because we're not in a really good position to do that right now. So yes, Soga, when he turns this on, bad things are going to happen. And we don't really want him to turn that on and have bad things happen, so we got to kind of figure out a better way to handle this. And of course, all that energy is going to go into the survival of his own clan. Now, of course, he needs to do a test, which is not good, but he can't because someone's been stealing life energy, which is probably a good thing. But unfortunately, we can't let that happen because we're not in a position to let that happen. And it's not the Akiba freedom fighters, so our friends aren't involved, so it's kind of a mystery to who might be involved exactly. So we have to go figure it out, because all of his cronies and synthesizer guys keep going out and getting beat up, so we have to go do it naturally, because we're the brawn here. So they can't turn on the big Dark Utopia machine without us doing something about it, which is, once again, probably not a good thing, but that's okay, because we're evil right now. We're not really evil, but we're aiding and abetting the enemy. So of course we're gonna have to go figure out what the heck's going on, and naturally we gotta go find the source of this problem. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the side streets, because that's where they keep going and getting beat up. And we are going to find out who truly is responsible for this. And as it turns out, our good friend, that's right, remember him? Our good friend, Zenya Amo, Yes. Very interesting turn of events. It's very interesting. So Zenya Amo's hunting synthesizers to steal their life energy, presumably for personal gain. So we gotta stop him, because of course we didn't like it when Zenya Amo had life energy to begin with, but now he's going around stealing it for himself, and of course he's just normal clothed now. He's kind of migrated back into the society, and of course he's come back a little, you know, a little angry. Well, not angry, but he's a little smug, I guess. He doesn't want to tell us why he's stealing life energy, but it's pretty obvious that he's doing it just to steal it for himself, because, you know, he's probably hopped up on drugs. I mean, those performance enhancers probably made him a little addicted or whatever, so naturally we're gonna have to take him out. So he's gonna try to stop us, which of course he's not even as powerful as he used to be. So Zenya Amo's kind of in a bad situation right now. He's not even as powerful as he was when he was Hyper Zenya. He doesn't have his big red rod that made him like at least an enemy worth being a little intimidated by. Here, Zenya's got nothing. I mean, he doesn't even have high durability clothing. He's got those stupid pen weapons that don't do anything. Really, this is just kind of a sad state of events for him. So we're just gonna take him out, like, without any effort whatsoever. Because this is like Ghost Zenya, like a shell of a former self Zenya Amo. Not quite as powerful as he used to be. So really, it's the shell of a man who was once kind of intimidating, but not anymore. So it looks like he was trying to get life energy to be more powerful again, which didn't work for him at all. So naturally, we had to put him in his place again. So instead of fighting us, our friends show up. And that is a little awkward because, well, we didn't want to see them because we can't really explain anything to them in a way that would be beneficial to us or them. So, of course, Shion and I have to get out of here because if we explain anything to them, well, things are going to get really rough and weird. And it's not looking very good because Zenya Amo's on, like, the ground next to us and Shion's kind of, well, not looking in a good light. Zenya's gonna run away, and we're probably never gonna see him again at this point. Because I think he's done enough at this point. I think he's gonna have to get out of the game, really, to be honest. So yes, Shion and I are gonna lose them in the Main Street crowd because we don't want to talk to our friends because it's probably not gonna bode well for either of us. And they're gonna chase us naturally, and because, you know, friendships are strong, and they want to know what's going on. And Kati, who lost her memories, wants to know what's going on. And of course, we can't really clue them into anything either because this is such a bad position to be in that we're just going to be like, let's go. And let's lose them. But unfortunately, they are not able to catch up with us. Or I don't know whether to say fortunately or unfortunately. We're put in such a moral dilemma that it's, you know, you never really know. We got a nice email. We won some money. Naturally, emails where you win money are always real, genuine emails. So that's pretty much that entire situation right there. Zenya, who is even easier than he was on our first fight, and our friends realizing that we're pretty much AWOL right now, and not knowing exactly what's going on. So now we're gonna go back to home base, and we're gonna tell Soga, our not-so-friend, that we have successfully stopped this synthesizer hunting thing. And he seems not too surprised about the outcome. And no, we didn't really learn anything about him. I guess, you know, it seems obvious that he just wanted to, you know, get energy again and feel powerful again after losing it. Though I don't know why. I mean, you know, when we beat him the third time, I thought, you know, maybe he was good. But it doesn't really matter. We don't need to know anything about Zenya. He's gone. And now we have gotten the energy back. And now this guy's Dark Utopia dream is a little closer, which is not good. And, yeah. Well, morally now we have to kind of feel a little torn about this whole deal. But now it's the natural course of progression is to discuss, well, how are we going to stop this? Well, not with him, of course. we're gonna get these last moments to enjoy our time looking at over Akihabara. But instead, we're gonna go over to the shrine and do some strategical discussion, because we gotta figure out how the hell we're gonna stop this thing. But before we do that, I'm gonna end this episode off right here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you keep watching, and I'll see you next time.